A very good morning to you and welcome to the news at 10 here on NTA News 24, and we're live in Abuja. I am Claire Adelabu Abdul Rasak. Let's start with the headlines. President Bola Tinubu returns to Nigeria after working visit to South Africa. Senate to meet Attorney General of the Federation to resolve disagreements on proposed tax reform bills. And First Lady of Nigeria rewards winner of every home or garden maiden competition.
Graciously announced an additional 5 million naira to the winner and 500,000 naira each to the other 19 entries submitted.
Thank you once again for joining us. Now let's get started. There have been reported cases of fertilizer adulteration and other sharp practices across the country. Now the Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security is stepping in to lead a task force to conduct surveillance in states where such sharp practices have been suspected. Now we have our correspondent joining us from Kano, that's Aminu Umaru, to give us or shed more light on this developing story. Hello Aminu, are you with me? Aminu, it's good to see you. This is quite an alarming development. Do we know where and why this is happening at this time?
Okay. Thank you and good morning. We are in Kano right now at the Fage police station, and this is the place where the team is here to strategize for the intended operation that is to be carried out today. If we can recall, in around 2019, a law was passed that is as regards the ensuring quality of fertilizer for the nation's agriculture. And if I can remember very well, around just 3 years or so ago, there was similar operation that was carried out in Kano, which led to the closure and sealing of some milling industries that are found milling without following the due regulations. And I am sure this is why the team is in Kano. The team is a quality assurance team from the Federal Ministry of Agriculture, and their leader is here with us. So can you tell us your name?
My name is Egbe Williams. Good morning, Nigerians. We are team from the Farm Input Support Services of the Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security, and we have come for a quality control operation in Kano State. It is a known fact that most of the fertilizers sold in the market today is either they are misbranded, is either they don't meet the quality, and it is predominant in most of our markets. So what we are here in Kano to do is to storm the market on a sting operation to make sure if there are sharp practices in this wise in the market, we will arrest the people, we will confiscate those fertilizers, we will sample them and go and do analysis in our laboratory. Now, the National Fertilizer Quality Control Act was passed in 2019 by then President Muhammadu Buhari, and it was signed by the National Assembly. And that law is to protect the farmers in Nigeria and to make sure food security is guaranteed. What does the law stand for? The law stands for quality fertilizer distribution in the supply chain. There must not be misbranding. There must not be short weight of fertilizers. There must not be, let's say, what can I call it now? Adulterated fertilizer in the market. If they are found, such distributor or the supplier will be arrested. We are here with a team of police officers and DSS. and very shortly we'll be storming the market.
Omar, we would like to know, for instance, when he gets to the market, he talked about rebranded and substandard fertilizer in the market. How do consumers or customers identify which fertilizer, has been, adulterated, and is it by just looking at the rebranded ones in the market?
One question again. If I can remember, last 2 or 3 years, similar thing happened.
Yes.
Yes, and operation was carried out.
Yes.
And still this is happening. So
Yes.
for the consumer, that is an average farmer or somebody that will come to the market to buy, how can he identify the adulterated fertilizer or rebranded fertilizer or any fertilizer that is not up to the standard?
Okay, like let's say we are taking a golden fertilizer, for instance. If you go to the market and you want to buy a golden fertilizer in the market, in any market, when you see their bag, you see that the prints on them are very bold. So they very bold print. You will see that they hardly use fillers in their fertilizers. You won't see things like sand. You won't see things like stone. You only see urea. You will see a muriate of potash, which is red. Urea is whitish in color. And you will see diammonium phosphate that is ash or gray in color. Any other thing apart from this is an adulterated fertilizer. That is what they should take a look at when they get to the market to buy such fertilizer.
But for just unsuspecting farmer that will come just to buy 1, 2, or 3 bags, must he open the bag before he now get to know that this is not the kind of quality that he needs?
Okay, another issue, when you look at such fertilizer from the market, if you have opportunity to touch it, just press the bag and see. If they use sand, it will just crumble in your hand. If they use correct material, it will be very hard. And you hardly see all these brownish or things in such bags, except it is adulterated. That is one of the way you can use it in detecting a misbranded or adulterated fertilizer in the market.
So after the operations now, I'm sure some places will be sealed up.
Yes, we will seal anyone that is into this shop practice. So any shop, dealer shop that is into this shop practice.
What will be the punishment? Because it happened and people are still
now
doing it.
The law stipulates that if you are convicted, you are into this act and you are convicted, you'll be sentenced to 5 years imprisonment. And we will enforce it because the act is there to guide and support us. With the help of the DSS, with the help of the police, we'll be able to enforce it. Thank you.
So, Omar, is this just is this task force just based in Kano, or are they going across the country?
They will be proceeding for the operations.
Sorry, Omar, I didn't hear that. I didn't get that. Is this just in Kanu, or are they going to cover the 36 states of the Federation, or are there specific areas they are covering?
The team are here in Kano. They are one of the teams that were dispatched all over the country. This is the team that will carry out the operation here in Kano. There are other teams that will do the same operation in some parts of this country.
Absolutely. Aminu, Umar, thank you for the in-depth conversation you've had with Mr. Williams. Honestly, I have no other questions to ask. Just to again, state what Mr. Williams have said about standard fertilizer should have bold prints. So if you're a farmer, you go to the market, look out for bold prints, and of course there should be no sediment. Just have a feel on the bag of the fertilizer. Once you don't feel any sediment, that should be quality fertilizer. I hope, Mr. Williams, I hope I'm right. All right, Umar, thank you very much. We'll join you again when you have more information.
Thank you. Thank you.
And President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is back in the country after his working visit to South Africa. The presidential airplane landed in Abuja at 10 minutes past 9 Wednesday. He was received by a delegation of senior government functionaries led by Chief of Staff Femi Gbadabiamila in Cape Town. The president, alongside his host president, chaired the 11th session of the Nigeria-South Africa Bi-National Commission. Both leaders also attended the opening session of the two countries' business roundtable. President Bola Tinubu proceeded to South Africa after his state visit to France. And a meeting between the Senate and Attorney General of the Federation is set for Thursday to find ways of resolving areas of disagreement in the proposed tax reform bills. Now, National Assembly correspondent Lami Ali reports that a committee to that effect has already been constituted.
The committee to meet with the Attorney General on the tax reform bills has the Minority Leader, Senator Abba Moro, as chairman, and one senator from each of the 6 geopolitical zones as a member. The leadership of the Senate, Chairman of Senate Committees on Finance, Appropriations, National Planning and Banking are also members.
We decided to put politics, ethnicity, regionalism aside to seize among ourselves in order to find the way forward in respect to the issues surrounding the tax reform bills.
The Committee on Finance has in the meantime been directed by the Senate to put on hold further legislative action on the tax reform bills and await the outcome of the meeting. The Senate has passed the Investment and Security Bill that seeks to reposition Nigeria's capital markets. The Agricultural Research Council of Nigeria Act Amendment Bill and Bill to establish Nigeria Police Force training institutions were also passed. Bill seeking to prohibit the export of maize in commercial quantity was among 3 others forwarded from the House for concurrence that were passed.
This seeks to prohibit the exportation of maize to address the ongoing food crisis in Nigeria.
Senate has resolved to invite the Minister of Aviation and Aerospace over incessant delay and cancellation of flights. Recent killings in parts of Benue State drew condemnation of the Senate as legislators appealed for additional security to affected areas. A minute's silence was observed for the victims, as well as victims of this week's accident at Total Roundabout in Kefi, Nasarawa State. From the National Assembly, Lami Ali, NTA News.
And national census was the main focus of interactions between Senate Committee, the National Identity and Population Commission, and the National Population Commission, NPC. Now, this was during the committee's oversight to the NPC headquarters to assess performance of the 2023-2024 budget. Dennis Adegunoye was there.
The last national head count in Nigeria was back in 2006, and figures of the country's population are generally put in the region of 200 to 250 million.
We thought that is not good enough.
Correcting this and getting an accurate figure is at the forefront of the minds of these legislators who make up the Senate Committee on National Identity and Population Commission. At this first ever interaction with the management of the NPC, they wonder why it is almost 20 years since a national census was conducted. Chairman of the NPC, Nasir Issa Kwara, explains these challenges, including logistical issues, low funding, and the recent review in South Africa where African countries agreed to incorporate biometrics into the process.
If we are able to do census with biometric or national register, that means at the end of the exercise, everybody would have been registered and would have his own biometric, so we can quickly do national identity for everybody.
This is 18 years down the line, and probably because of some issues that has to do with the forms or the questions being asked of ethnicity, of religion, of region. And once we get about that, we don't need to put ethnicity, we don't put, we need to put religion, we don't put the region. All we want to is how many are Nigerians.
I have no doubt in my mind that what we have seen with the concurrence of Mr. President, we can conduct a reasonable and very accurate stress that we as a people can be proud of.
The committee assures of adequate budgetary provisions to the NPC to facilitate a smooth process. In Abuja, Dennis Adegunloye, NTA News.
Well, House of Representatives has called for the creation of the Nigerian Lithium Production Agency by the Ministry of Solid Minerals Development in line with provisions of the Nigerian Minerals and Mining Act 2007. Lawmakers at the plenary say the proposed agency will help upscale the lithium value chain in the country for energy sufficiency and economic growth. National Assembly correspondent Mitaire Ikmen tells us more.
Nigeria's lithium deposits are valued in billions of dollars, but exploration remains poorly funded in the country, despite being a major source of renewable energy. Lawmakers point out that global demand for lithium is projected to rise 13 times by 2040, hence the need to design the requisite regulatory and legal framework that will govern the lithium value chain.
To develop a vertical integrated lithium industry, create a roadmap for developing the infrastructure required by potential lithium mines in Nigeria, a lithium value chain policy that links mining approvals to significant investments in midstream and downstream segments of the value chain.
The House condemns recent bandit attacks on farmers in Isiuzo local government area of Enugu State, as well as other parts of the country, leading to loss of lives and property. Lawmakers describe the trend as a threat to national food security.
The call on the federal government to intensify efforts in addressing the root causes of banditry and insecurity in the region, including improved intelligence gathering, community engagement, and enhanced coordination among security agencies.
In other resolutions, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs was asked to address the challenges of Nigerians studying abroad under the bilateral education agreement.
Some of these challenges include delays in stipend payments and shortfall in stipend disbursement, reduction in supplementation allowances, accommodation challenges, health and welfare concerns.
From the National Assembly, Mitaire Ikben, NTA News.
And you're watching the news at 10 here on NTA News 24. Don't go away. When the news returns presently, First Lady unveils winner of Every Home a Garden Maiden competition. Join us again. And the winner has emerged. A 62-year-old retired civil servant from Borno State, Veronica Kidafa Mbaya, is the winner of the Every Home a Garden competition, promoted by Nigeria's First Lady, Senator Oluremi Tinubu. She was unveiled at a ceremony at the conference center of the Presidential Villa in Abuja, and State House correspondent Adini Taiwo was there.
In response to a clarion call by the first,
neither drought or the flood that ravaged her state could stop her. From the obscurity of her backyard in Polo, Borno State, where she heeded the call on Nigerian women to lead a revolution in agriculture, Veronica Kidafa Mbaya enters national limelight as the winner of the first edition of Every Home a Garden competition, promoted by Nigeria's First Lady Oluremi Tinubu. It is indeed a crowning moment as she stepped out to receive her prize money of 20 million naira after her entry beats that of Sokoto State and the FCT to emerge winner.
Because the world has known me and they want me to work very hard, and I'm praying to God that should give me good health and then wisdom so that I can able to move with people so that they will help me to do a very big farm, and I'm going to encourage people near me.
It was no less a crowning moment for Nigeria's First Lady, Oluremi Tinubu, whose desire to contribute to food security through agricultural revolution led by women gave birth to the competition. Now she feels happy and fulfilled.
We have done our part, and due to the success of this initiative, the Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security has decided to adopt the Every Home a Garden program.
Every single entry has reminded us that gardening is both an art and science and expression of passion.
We are in the process of preparing the 2025 annual budget proposal, and we have definitely mainstreamed all of these projects, and I want to guarantee you we are flying high with where you saw.
The competition was launched on October 25 last year. From the conference center of the Presidential Villa, Adeni Itaiwo, NTA News.
Congratulations to Mrs. Veronica Mbaya. Resuscitating closed down bakeries and sustaining functioning ones need holistic approach in providing alternative cost-effective resources of raw materials. National President, Association of Master Bakers and Caterers of Nigeria, Mansur Umar, stated this during the inauguration of executives of the association and award presentation. Ibrahim Belugunda reports.
Bakers under the auspices of Association of Master Bakers and Caterers of Nigeria are facing numerous challenges to keep on producing despite increasing costs of raw materials and market forces affecting their production. To tackle this, among others, stakeholders gathered in Abuja to usher in new leadership that will pilot their affairs as well as find a common ground in addressing challenges confronting them. The executive members, who were elected by consensus, were administered the oath of office and allegiance by a legal practitioner, Labir Ahmad.
Do solemnly swear that I will be faithful.
Despite all odds, those that made an impact on the association and its members were recognized with various categories of awards.
All the ingredients of baking materials are increasing incessantly. No baker can plan for at least a week or talk less a month. If you buy whatever you buy today, when you go tomorrow or next tomorrow, you will still buy it on another price. Some price that you got it.
It's not easy out there because as we speak, a bag of flour is 64,000.
So I encourage us, let's continue to work together, and nobody is an island of knowledge. We don't know it all. If we see anything in the market, let us know. If anything needs our attention, let us know.
Speakers agree that members of the Association of Master Bakers and Caterers of Nigeria are facing one of the critical periods in the profession, with a call for collective action to see that no more bakery or business fold up. In Abuja, Ibrahim Belugunda, NTA News.
You're watching the news at 10. Let's remind you once again of the main stars. President Bola Tinubu is back in Nigeria after a working visit to South Africa. And Senate to meet Attorney General of the Federation to resolve disagreements on proposed tax reform bills. First Lady of Nigeria rewards winner of Every Home a Garden Maiden competition.
Graciously announced an additional 5 million naira to the winner and 500,000 naira each to the other 19 entries submitted.
And on the foreign scene, Namibia elects first female president amidst controversy. Let's join Uyemi Ajayi for the details.
Namibia has elected the country's vice president as the new leader of the country, becoming the first female president of the Southern African country. Vice President Notembo Nandi Datwa was declared the winner of the presidential election last week and was tarnished by technical glitches that caused a 3-day extension to allow votes to be cast and rejected as illegal by opposition parties. The 72-year-old Nande won with 57% of the votes, defying predictions that she might be forced into a runoff. Her ruling SWAPO party also retained its parliamentary majority, although with a very thin margin, and extended its 34-year hold on power since the country gained independence from apartheid South Africa in 1990. Namibia, a sparsely populated country of around 3 million of the southwestern coast of Africa, has a reputation of being one of the continent's most stable democracies, and the problems around this election have caused consternation. Last Wednesday's vote was said to be marred by shortages of ballot papers and other problems that led election officials to extend voting until Saturday. Opposition parties have said the extension is unconstitutional, and some have pledged to join together in a legal appeal to have the election invalidated. But the Electoral Commission of Namibia, which ran the election, rejected opposition calls for a redo of the votes.
And that's the news at 10 on NTA News 24. Thank you for watching. Don't forget, there'll be an update at 11, 1, and of course, News Desk will return at 3. Good morning.